questions, though. I need to check real quick. And I just got an order on Etsy. Oh, no. Hello. How is everybody? I'm live on YouTube. All right. Let's see. I'm going to make sure that our friends didn't have any questions on my Facebook page. And then I'm going to make an introduction, and then we will be speaking with Miss Lauren Kilgore. Let's see. So as you come in and make comments, please let us know where you're watching from. And also, if you could sprinkle the love, that would be fantastic as well. And if I can't see your name, I'll let you know, and I'll let you know how you can show it to us. Jeanette! Oh, now I'm like, why can I see you? Because you're not under your profile. Okay, just making sure. Okay, we're all good. Oh, my eyes are something else today. I'm just letting you know. Getting older sucks. Really sucks. But yes, please. I don't know how you're going to do that from your group or from your page, but however you got to do it, I appreciate it. So, without further ado, welcome to Cut to the Point, the live podcast that's sharp, sassy, and all about the art of crafting. I'm your host, Angela, the creative mind behind 3L Creations. Get ready to dive deep into the world of crafting as we chat with amazing guests from all corners of the crafting universe. Today we have Lauren Kilgore of BeautifulMesh, an Etsy guru extraordinaire. We're here to cut through the fluff and get straight to the heart of what makes crafting so special. So grab your scissors and glue guns because it's time to cut to the point. And here is Lauren.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Could you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yay, because I'm starting that now, and I'm like, I have to try something because this is actually going to go in a spot for people to listen to.
Yeah.
And so I haven't been able to, because Dylan was the first guest. And so my husband's like, well, what song do I put? I said, I don't know. I don't know his favorite song, but two, he loves Christmas. But we still couldn't figure it out. So I'm actually going to make my own little ditty.
Yeah, that's good.
To go with that. So, all right. We've got hot seat questions. That's my favorite. I know it's your favorite too, huh?
I know.
All right. So I've got a mix of questions.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't want to ask you about Etsy because everybody asks you about Etsy, right?
Yeah.
And, but I'm going to ask some because I know that there's going to be people that want to know. Hi, Neva. Sprinkle, 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 please. But what I want to know first is how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, I see you've got some new things going on, little with your group that you have.
I do. Yeah, some things, well, it's not all public yet, but yeah.
Yeah.
We do have some things that we're working on, all kinds of new fun things coming to the group and to my business and to, I don't know why I decided to start everything in the fourth quarter because it's like time, but you know, whatever.
Today I was like, I know she's not just sitting at her computer thinking, I don't have anything else to do. Let me just create something else.
Yeah, no. I had been thinking about all these things for like months, you know.
I bet.
I really pulled the trigger and it's like, oh yeah, it's almost November now. Like,
so you don't forget these things. Do you have like a list that you keep going? Because I can only imagine your brain.
I do have a to-do list, but to try and think of all the things that I need to do.
Hi. Who are you?
Hi, Jackson.
Hi, Jackson. I'm Angela. Nice to meet you.
Hello. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a running to-do list all the time because I got too much going on in my brain to remember all the little things. And sometimes I like just write. I have in my notes section of my phone. I have like
I
tons
do
of
too. Do you
like
keep it all in one spot though?
Yeah, like whenever I'm like, for some reason, I do my best thinking when I'm in the car and it's quiet and there's no, you know, like some people like do like their best thinking in the shower. I
Yes.
like to listen to music in the shower. So I do my best thinking in the car. Don't ask me why I don't listen to music, but I like it quiet. I do my best thinking in the car when I'm just sort of like, I mean, I'm driving and focusing on that, but I'm like not really thinking about anything else.
Yeah.
And I'll come up with like ideas, like blog post ideas or like video ideas or like, yeah. And then I have to, when I stop, I write them in my notes app on my phone.
Yeah. Or you're like, hey Siri. I don't know if you have an iPhone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you write this in my
Write
notes?
this note. And I had this like, if I lost my notes app, I would.
Oh no, I'm not talking to you now.
Uh-oh. Where did it go?
Oh, it was my phone.
Oh, because you said her name. Yeah, I know. She does that to me on my watch all the time.
Oh my gosh. Like I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I struggle with having notes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And what good does that do, right? Nothing.
Yeah.
It just makes me forget.
And I got these at the these are my favorite notebooks, the ones that we got at
Yeah.
Live. Yeah. And I have like several of them. I have multiple of them. And this is where all my notes are. Like, this is my, like, and I have them, I don't know how many I have over the years, but I just have like all my notes, all my everything. That's like my
I have something for you. You might like this much better.
What do you have?
So I heard about Rocketbook. Okay. You haven't heard of it, so I get to introduce it to you. So I got the cute little case for it. But it comes with this. Okay. Little wipey thing. Comes with a special pen, which the bottom can be an eraser.
Mm-hmm.
You actually, what do I have falling out of here? It shouldn't be anything, but it's a notebook. I have a small one and a bigger one. It's you take notes and then you see this.
Oh, and then it's all digital.
And then you put it onto somewhere where it stores this. And then all you do is erase the pages and you just keep using it.
That's pretty cool.
When I saw this, I was like, I need this.
Hey, stop. Yeah, because all mine, I have to like go look, to try and find all this, where did I write about X, Y, Z, however many years ago. Yeah.
Right. Because I started having like specific books and I'm like, no, I can't do this. I dropped something. I don't know where it went. I guess it wasn't important. But yeah, if you need to know that again after we get off, I can tell you.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, because it really I was like, this is they made this for me. All right. So tell us about, if you would like, tell us about your family and like who were you in your former life before we knew you?
I was I was a accountant turned wreath maker turned Etsy expert. So I was an accountant in public and in private accounting for like 20 some years, and then quit my 9-to-5 job like 2 years ago to do my Etsy shop and teaching Etsy full time. And so I started making wreaths about 9 years ago, and back then, it was just for fun. It was just a hobby. It was just like, because I wanted to make something for my door. Right. And then so people were like, "Oh, you should start to sell them. They're really good." I mean, they weren't. They were not good, but I guess people thought they were good. They
I
were,
was there too.
and so I was like, "Oh, maybe I can make like a little money, like a little side hustle." I was like, "All right." And my sister has a, or she had, I don't think she has it anymore, but she had a really successful Etsy shop with like wedding invitations and guest books and all those like stationery and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I
Mhm.
guess that's where you go if you're a handmade person. Like I didn't really, Etsy was fairly new back then.
Mhm.
And so I was like, okay, well, I guess, well, that's where I'll, try and sell my things. So I opened it, I think, at my Etsy shop and my Facebook page like the very same day, and didn't really think too much about it. Just kind of did it, and it was not really thinking it was going to go anywhere. It was just going to be like
Uh-huh.
a whole, side hustle thing. But yeah, it grew and grew, and so it's been fun. I mean, I really enjoy. I still, obviously make stuff from my shop. I know a lot of like Etsy experts and stuff maybe don't run their shops anymore, or
Yeah.
well, like they don't really do that side. But that's where I get my creative outlet. So I like to still do that, and I feel like you can't really be teaching if you don't actually run a shop. Like if you don't have a successful shop, how do you even know like what's the
Yeah.
latest, what's happening on Etsy? Like so I don't. That's why I gotta keep in the know. So.
Right. I mean, because otherwise, I mean, I have two Etsy shops. I
Hmm.
have my main business one, and then I have the spin-off 3L, etc. And that
Oh,
one's doing better than the original.
interesting.
But I'm pretty sure I need a little bit of TLC in the other one, um, because I just concentrate on the other one,
Hmm.
because it's gotten more sales. But
Right.
but yeah, it's kind of like a game, right?
Hmm.
To as to whether or not did I do this right? Oh, hey, I got an order. I must have done something right.
Yeah, it's a lot of experimenting, a lot of trial and error to see what works and what doesn't, and what people will respond to, what people want, what people,
Yeah.
what's on trend. Yeah,
So
for sure.
what point was it that you got to and you were like, I don't know if anybody's ever said I love Etsy, but hey, I'm really liking this, ending this, and you know, I want to know more, and then I want to tell people about it.
I I feel like how there's a bazillion and one Facebook groups
Uh
out
huh.
there for wreath makers and stuff, and as I started getting going on Etsy, I think it just made sense to me, and I don't know if it was because my business brain from being an accountant or whatever, and I always say like I need help on the creative side, the business side like made sense. I need to be in the design groups to learn the design tips. Um, so I was always finding myself like answering other people's questions, and where was seeing all these people struggling, and I'm like, well, it's just so easy, just do this, that, the other, and I think that I don't know, I just kind of like found that I knew a lot of the answers that other people didn't. So I thought, well, maybe this is a place where I can try, help and, be able to get more people to, be successful. So I think it was just like 3 years or so after I first started my shop that I opened like my very first group and like training and stuff like that.
So did you have? And I'm sorry, I apologize to everybody for the person that's using the chainsaw or whatever that is. They've been doing it all day long,
Well, that's
and so I might be able to reach the window. Hold on. Oh, hallelujah! Yay! I'm moving things around in my room, and so I couldn't reach that window before. Now I can. I'm sorry. Um, what was I going to ask you? Um, did you have a really hard time figuring out Etsy when you started your shop?
I mean, I think so because back then there really wasn't anybody teaching it there like there is now.
Yeah.
There's a ton of people you could go to. back then there really wasn't anybody, or I mean, I never found anyone.
Yeah.
So it was all sort of, trial and error at the beginning and just try and figure out for myself. And so that obviously you can do that. It just takes a lot longer. Like I
Yes.
said, it took me like 2 or 3 years to get any kind of like consistent regular sales that were like meant anything. Otherwise it was the very first year it was like ones and twos here and there because I didn't know what I was doing. I my pictures were horrible, my titles were horrible. Yeah, so yeah, that's why another reason why I like to do so much training now is so that people can get up and going faster. Like you can do
Right?
all this stuff
Yeah.
that you can learn on your own for sure. Like it's not none of it is like really a big secret. But it's just it just takes so long to learn all of it and to get all the right pieces from the right places. So if I
Right.
can like, streamline it for people and be like, okay, this is what you need to do. Don't worry about this. Do this.
Yeah.
You'll get to that point a little bit faster, and it'll just be easier to recoup some of your initial, money.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. That's some of what people shy away from is the cost. There's a cost.
Mm-hmm.
But I want my time back,
Yeah.
sitting here for hours trying to figure out anything because I don't like to be lost. And so I like to figure things out. Etsy, I'm still not best friends with yet. But I think, I mean, I'm assuming I do okay on the one shop because, well, it's mostly my signs
Mm-hmm.
is what it is. And I've gotten quite a few. I had a share and save purchase.
Oh yeah, you got some money back from it.
I was very excited. Somebody used because what is it? The share and save is we copy the link and we post it somewhere, right?
Yeah. And if
Yeah.
you use that one, then you get like what 4%
You
back.
only get
Yeah.
yeah. And so I was excited. I'm like, ooh, I got
Yeah.
somebody used it. I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
But only until somebody uses it do you decide to use it.
Right.
But I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but because I want to know, speaking of the share and save, what do you think of the beta thing that they're doing with telling you how much they think your product is it's either too low, too high, or hey, you're right on it.
I know it's so bad. And I looked at it the other day, and because we went over it in the group the other day, and if you look into like how they're figuring the totals, they're looking at items that are similar. So I'm guessing they're going by like the category, and some keywords to figure out, how to rank, how to figure out pricing. But the problem is they can't figure size into it. So you could have a small wreath and you could have a really big, huge wreath, and they would be obviously vastly different pricing. And also, they can't figure out if somebody's including shipping in their pricing or not. So with us, we have really big products that are very expensive to ship. If you're including shipping in your pricing is way up compared to somebody else who's not. So it's really not apples to apples.
I got a good laugh out of it.
Yeah, and someone said, even like it tried to price like Fair Silk ribbon at $8 because it thinks ribbon is ribbon.
Right. It doesn't know
designer ribbon cost
right.
that much more to begin with. So yeah, if you're using Dollar Tree products and you're creating a 12-inch wreath, you might have, be one price. But if you're creating a 36-inch swag, yeah, it's going to be.
I just realized, oh my God, how bad is that for people that strictly make Dollar Tree wreaths? And it tells them, actually, this is really low. You should price it higher.
Yeah, I mean, it's so off. Like, and I don't even know how they could make it work because, like I said, like they don't know what the size is. They don't know the cost of materials. They don't know the pricing of shipping. So I don't know how they think if they just go by somebody called this a wreath and somebody called this a wreath, they're so not the same just because they're called wreaths, So
maybe that's why it's beta.
Yeah, I tell everybody just go onto Etsy yourself. Price things like with whatever formula you like to use to begin with, and then go onto Etsy and see what you look yourself like, and see what how somebody's pricing their things. Depending on, you can see what the size is,
Right.
you can see if their shipping is separate, and you can see if it looks like the same type of quality materials as your thing, and then figure out your pricing from there. So
Yeah.
if you need
Like
to
I said,
yeah.
I got a good laugh out of some of the things that it was
It
trying
was
to
so
price
bad.
for
It's like
me.
so useless. Like I can think of some other things that we could have done better with our time, Etsy, than
Yeah.
that.
Well, it did help me with some things that I was kind of like, I don't know, even though they didn't really know what they were talking about because they don't
Yeah.
know size and stuff. But if you're just tuning in now, this is Lauren Kilgore we're talking to of Beautiful Mesh. And I think people forget about that part of you. But everybody else knows her as our Etsy expert. And so we're talking with her today. And if you haven't already, please sprinkle us out. I see a couple of you that I can't see your name that are commenting. I will go ahead and post in here real quick the link that you need. It's also in the description of the for our live. But there you go. If we can't see your name, go ahead and do that. Because I see somebody said hello, guys. And I'm not sure who you are, but hi. so, so we kind of talked a little bit about how you got started, leaving the accounting world. And I know you still do stuff along those lines. Is it more geared to Etsy, or do you still maybe do some things on the side?
Right
Like if
now, I don't really do. I just do my own for now.
Mhm.
I mean, I thought about if people needed me to do some stuff for their Etsy shops, but I don't know. I haven't really gone down that path yet. Um, I was doing, some taxes for friends and stuff on the side, but
Yeah.
that was about it. Yeah, not a whole lot of bookkeeping for people. Not yet, at least.
Oh, I'm looking for a bookkeeper, but I, it's just because I'm that stuff scares me. I don't like it, and so I've just haven't dealt with it.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. um, what inspires your creative process when designing products, whether it's Etsy stuff or wreaths, beautiful mesh, stuff you make there?
Um, I'm I mean, I get inspired just by like the supplies that I have now. I'm trying to be really good about using up the supplies that I have, and just it'll take me forever though to match things up. And I'm not one that can just go, okay, this, and then grab all the things and go with it. I sit there and I'm like, okay, does this one work better? This one, this one. But yeah, I mean, I walk craft stores all the time for inspiration and see kind of like what's trending, what's out there, what's the color schemes, what's the themes of what's going on. Yeah, but and I'll try, I'll shop online and stuff, but yeah, I'm mostly just inspired by, what I have to try and use what I have up because I have so many
Yeah.
supplies.
Let's not even talk about what you need to use up. I
Yeah,
could probably supply. Oh, how many people are in your HSU?
like 250.
I could probably supply all of you
Yeah,
with at least a kit.
right.
it's it's just there's so many pretty things out
I know.
there, and people need to stop selling them.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. This is really good. How do you balance? And I don't know how demanding Beautiful Mesh is of you, but how do you balance that with all things Etsy that you do?
Um, I mean, I try and just sort of divide up my day, like where half the day I'm doing like computer work and Etsy work and, that kind of businessy part, or even listing on Etsy, or, what next topic for my group, or an update for the course or whatever. And the other half do like designing and go into my craft room and actually make stuff. That's usually how I try to divide it up. usually in the morning. I know I'm more focused, so I'll do like my computer stuff in the morning, and then like after lunch, I'll go upstairs and I'll do my designing or creating or whatever it is. So I try to sort of even it out. And if orders are slow, then I'm working on the other stuff. It always kind of
Yeah.
depends on or if I have a really big launch, but then I'm not creating a whole lot or so. Yeah, it just sort of flows. But I think it is hard to I still feel like I'm running 2 full-time jobs.
Oh yeah, I bet.
But
I like how you use the word try.
yeah, because it's still an adjustment, to go from working 9 to 5 to working for yourself. It's still trying to figure it out. Yeah.
It's even more work too, and
Mhm.
not that it's a bad thing, but because I mean, I don't know about you, but if I didn't love doing what I did or what I do,
Yeah.
I wouldn't work as much as I
Exactly.
really. And
Yeah.
creating isn't work to me.
No.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't know. I know to some others in this home, they think I work a lot, and I'm like, but you don't understand. I'm doing you like to watch golf. I
Right.
like to make
This
things.
is fun. Yeah.
Yeah, you like to watch YouTube. I like to make things.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, even if I'm sitting watching TV, I'm making something. My hands gotta
me
be busy. I
too.
gotta be, like, doing
Yeah,
something, wrapping a wreath or doing
yeah.
cutting something. Yeah.
Because
More
to be honest, I fall asleep if I don't. um, let's see. How has social media and online platforms played a role in growing your brand and reaching a wider audience?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a biggie, which is why I have a whole course on social media, because it's, especially when Etsy can dip and, things on the platform they can do weird things. They can change up the algorithm. They can, um,
Yeah.
make different things important, and you have to catch up, or just so many things can happen. And so being able to drive your own traffic and have social media followers that you can push to the Etsy yourself is helpful. I mean, and I know a lot of people are like, well, why don't you you could do that with your own website, which you totally can. But I think like Etsy is a great place to learn all that stuff. It's like your own website on training wheels. Like as
Yeah.
you get sort of used to learning how to use social media and stuff like that, and then you can use those same skills when you do have a website. But in the beginning, it's definitely helpful to have. But even so, even I don't even rely on just Etsy for traffic. Yeah, I always, am making sure that I'm present on social media everywhere that I possibly can. I don't do
Right.
Twitter, but I mean, I think that's the only one I don't do. But everything else, yeah, I want to make sure that I'm present there so that I can try and be wherever my customers are.
Yeah. I know that I jumped the gun. So if anybody's new or doesn't have a website yet, you don't need it. I felt that I needed to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I love my website, don't get me wrong, but I can't get rid of it either. Because
Oh,
now I have, stuff that goes through that. When I have craft shows, I use that for taking payments. I have my
mhm.
inventory in there. I don't know about you. I don't like to have 50 things to do one thing for me.
Right. Yeah.
So, but yeah,
But at the
I
same
mean,
time, it's also good not to have all your eggs in one basket. So you got, you're diversifying just in case anything were to ever happen.
right. To always have something in your back pocket.
Yeah. I mean, I have a website, but it doesn't hardly sell anything because I don't push any traffic there. I mean, I I feel like that would be weird if I was like preaching Etsy, but like selling everything on my
Oh, yeah.
website. But yeah, I mean, I have it there as a backup. It's like it's another place if people were to Google and they could find it. But
True.
I don't really push it, and it really doesn't make hardly any sales because I don't pay attention to it, and I don't, and That's what happens. If you don't pay attention to something, you don't treat it like a business, it will not treat you like a business. It
Well,
looks
you just prompted another question for me then, because you said, sorry, I saw Roxy was asking a question. What was it? Oh, maybe it'll come back to me because I had a question off of what you had said. Sorry. Hi, Roxy. How can you get your Oh, she has a question for you. Do you mind if we take it now, or do
Yeah,
you
that's fine.
want to wait? Okay.
You.
Yeah, Jeanette says my website is more of a landing page to go everywhere else.
Yeah.
Basically. And Roxy says, how can you get your items to rank higher so they will sell on Etsy? My Etsy shop is just not getting very much attention this year.
I think everybody's is not getting very much attention this year, so it's not just you. From what I'm hearing, most people across the board in all industries are down. And I don't normally say that because there's always ups and downs, but I think the general consensus that I've heard from, a lot of different niches is that Etsy's down. So don't feel bad. But there's a lot of things you can do to make it rank higher. I mean, is she sell wreaths also?
I believe so, but she did mention when I saw her a few weeks ago, she makes cupcakes and these amazing Oreo cake balls, and she brought stuff with her.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's just that.
Okay.
But it might be. So it could be the niche too, just like you said.
Well, I'm just saying because I know for oh, okay.
She sells wreaths.
Okay. I mean, for the wreath side, you'll want to make sure that that your shipping is competitive, that you're not your shipping prices are not higher than anybody else's. You'll want to make sure your keywords in your listing are the way that somebody searches, not titling your product like a work of art in an art gallery, not just describing the product, not writing a sentence in the title that really belongs in your description, but that you're using keywords that people can find it. That'll help you. Using all the places possible that keywords can go, that'll help.
And filling them all up, right?
Yeah, filling them all up, filling your whole account up, making sure you have policies set up, you have that bio set up, having everything in all the places set up, that helps you rank higher. There's a lot of different things that can do it. I mean, besides having good customer service and having, some sales under your belt. So there are a bunch of different factors. It's kind of that's a big can of worms we could open up, but I think it's not you. If you're seeing your flow, it's not you
it's not you, it's me. No,
it's everything. It's just I keep seeing on the news too that they expect retail stores to be down this year. So I think it's just I hate to say that it's an economy thing because usually that's a cop out, but it might be a little bit true this year. Not to say that people can't be successful. There's plenty of people that are still.
Right. I don't know who it was, but I saw Google news. I get pop-ups about it. Some big chain store or retail store, I think it is not, they weren't going bankrupt, they're liquidating.
Oh.
So they're going bye-bye.
There's so many nowadays. Yeah.
I know. And I'm beginning to wonder what malls are going to be for at some point. And I know people like shopping in person, but some of those same people, and I'm not judging, but some of those same people tend to be the ones that don't want to go outside either. Yeah. And I feel for them, but so Jeanette wants to know, what do you think about using not drank, e-rank to help with words or keywords?
That's my favorite one to use. There are a ton on the market now. I think when I first started, there was two. There was Marmalade and there was e-rank. And so I have subscriptions to both of those, but eRank's my favorite because I think it has the most amount of data that's easiest for me to understand. And I use it for I use it to brainstorm some other keywords. I love like the word map that it gives you. So it, like, if you can't think of another way to say something, look at that word map and that'll help you come up with other ways to say the same thing, which huh? And what no, that's how
That's Jackson.
um and it'll also help you like see what ways people are searching and maybe what ways they aren't. So like if you type something in and it's like um no search history or no like it's showing that like not a lot of people are searching that way, then I would probably leave that one out and try a different set of keywords, because you want to make sure that you're using the ones that people are using. If nobody else is searching that way, there's really no point in you putting it in your listing. So
going back to you were talking about titles and stuff, the way I look at it, and tell me if this is a good way to approach it. I actually think of it as I'm going on and I'm going to look for something that I want. How would I look it up?
right.
So like if I have like this elegant looking, wreath with pearls and diamonds, I'm, over exaggerating, but you're not going to put elegant in the title because I don't, I mean, I might look up elegant wreath, but I'd mostly look up wreath.
Right. Yeah. People don't tend not to use adjectives like that because one, it's subjective, and two, they're they're going to look up like the noun. They're going to look up wreath. They're going to look up Halloween wreath. And that can be a little broad, but you have to kind of get down into who it's for, where it goes, who buys it, what occasion it's for, those kind of. But yeah, remembering that the person that is looking for something doesn't know yet what you have. They have no idea, like this piece, which is okay. It's like a fall basket, right? But nobody knows that this exists yet. So I'm not going to describe it too specifically only because nobody knows that there is a basket that is grapevine that has blue pumpkins and fall, colors in it. Like they don't know that exists. So they're just going to look for like a fall floral arrangement for their front door.
Right.
So I want to make sure that I include that as well.
Right.
I can get it back on here.
That's really pretty, by the way.
To the specifics. So you have to think that, you have to use the specific words, but also be using the broad words because they don't know yet exactly what it is you have. So,
right. And they don't even know what they're looking for sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. They don't know what they're looking for. And sometimes a lot of times they are not that picky. They're not like, well, it has to have like a red bow on it with, stripes. Like, and so I'll see people put like bow with red stripes. And I'm like, they don't really care that much. Like we might care because we make these things but they don't really care. They're just looking for something cute and pretty for their door. So
I think like when blue and the ice blue and the red have been really popular for Christmas, right? There was even a time I was searching for by the colors, because it was something new, and I just wasn't sure what kind of blue they were calling it. It could be anything, midnight blue. I just wanted to find a blue and red wreath,
right?
And so I find sometimes that applies, but definitely not all the time.
Yeah, definitely. If there's a trend for something like that, then yes, that would be
like the pastels right now.
Yeah, then you would want to include, something more specific. But otherwise, people aren't usually, unless they have something in their house they really need to match, like exactly. I find that sometimes, like with beach stuff, like people will have either like a turquoise theme, or they'll have like a aqua green theme, or they'll have like a navy blue theme. So like there's a couple different ways you could do beach, a couple
Right.
shades of blue. So they'll ask me like, okay, what shade of blue is this? That's the only time, that I've really had people be real specific about like, this has to be this shade exactly to match my decor.
Yeah, like in your description, this
Yeah.
turquoise. No.
Yeah.
I think that this is Broxy still. I'm not sure. But they say, how do you feel about using Chat GPT for writing descriptions? Does it help? Ooh,
I think it does. Yeah. I don't use it for keywords, but for writing descriptions, it can. I edit it a little bit because sometimes it can feel a little corny and a little bit
right.
like I don't know what the word is besides corny. It just seems like a little bit like
A little off base.
yeah, it's like a little bit like, all right, like that's enough of, a little cheesy, I guess is what I'm looking at. So I will sort of edit it a little bit so it sounds a little bit more like me and less like used car sort of salesman-y kind of cheese ball sort of language. But I just used it the other day just for, and I just take snippets out of it and it helps me because I am a math person. I was an accountant. I was not a writer.
Yeah.
So I need help with the words.
Well, I have used it a lot.
Yeah.
I actually did one time ask for an Etsy description, but I also asked for keywords and tags. Now, being somewhat familiar, I looked, obviously I read them all, and it actually wasn't too far. It wasn't that bad. But I mean, you can use it for anything.
Yeah.
Telling it like you're talking to yourself, but telling it all about you and your business really helps when you have other things that you want to ask it to.
So it learns. Yeah.
So I don't know how much you've used it, but I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that this is a big one, and we'll get to your Jeanette's question in a moment. Where did it go? Can you talk about the importance of product photography and descriptions on Etsy and how they impact sales? Because I know this is like a big one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so much product photography, I know they got to be professional looking. So, you don't have to use like a super fancy camera though. You don't have to, have like, photography skills and stuff, but literally, especially for wreaths, take it outside and have a good background that's plain. I don't have a window on the door. Don't have a bunch of different things in the background. Like hopefully you have a solid color door. I don't care what color it is, but make it solid. And just having it uncluttered, like that is a big part of a good picture. I think people sometimes forget that. Like, don't take your pictures inside. Don't take your pictures in your kitchen with your dirty dishes in the sink. I have seen that. I have seen ones with their
Maybe it makes a good backdrop.
It's not. It's like it looks so unprofessional. Like of you're a business. You have to. I mean, I always think like, would this picture be in a catalog? Would this go on in a magazine, or would this really go? If it doesn't, don't. Please, if it's blurry, don't put it on there. If your fingers in front of the camera, please don't put it on there. There definitely is, take it outside, get good light, get it uncluttered. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
just like the name of what you're calling your Etsy item.
Yeah,
I like that.
And then your description, it didn't used to factor into the Etsy algorithm. Now it does a little bit, but it's really where you get to describe the product and get to really sell the product to somebody and really tell them where they can use it, how they can use it, how they can care for it. This is where you get to tell them like why they need it, like what kind of problem it's going to solve for them. and why they need to buy it, because you can have some really cute stuff, but if it's not solving a problem for them, you got to tell them what their problem is. Like, you have a front door and you're going to have a party and you need to dress that up. Okay, you can buy this wreath. Even if you think your product doesn't solve a problem, I promise you it does. Somebody who doesn't, wants to spruce up their front porch and they don't know what to do, they don't want to make, like, you are the solution for them. So even if you think you're a luxury product, you're still a solution to their problem, which is they need a piece of decor. So solve that problem for them, tell them why they need it. I have tips for photography and for writing a description on my website. So if you go to laurenkilgore.com/free, there's a whole bunch of free resources, including like the whole tips on photography and a description formula for you. So
don't you have a book too? That spiral bound one. I bought it.
I mean, that one's like in my Etsy shop. Yeah. But these are like free resources.
But that's a good one too.
Yeah.
So Jeanette and hi Jojo. So a Facebook user said hi, but hi. And hey Max. Jeanette asked, what do you think the world of AI, or what do you think of the world of AI and how it affects different niches in Etsy? Like,
are we talking about like images or
just well, I wouldn't do an AI image.
Well, I know a lot of signs are AI images now.
I'm sorry, none of mine really are, because I can't figure out what the heck to tell it. I just want a cute vintage Santa looking.
Right.
I just want him, holding a bag of presents in front of a tree. That's it.
Yeah. Well, or maybe she was thinking of it as far as like handmade versus AI kind of a situation. But I like, you still have, like she said, you still have to tell it what you want. And it's only as good as the questions that you ask it and the information that you feed it. So there's still it's not totally dummy proof. It's not, I don't think it's going to replace us as creators. There's still things that people need to make. There's still originality there that I don't think AI can replicate. At least now it's not perfect and you'll always need to go in behind it. Like I said, like you'll have to edit the description. Even if you have ChatGPT write it, you edit it. Even if you have it create an image, you need to do some tweaking with it because it does weird stuff sometimes. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes in the future. Right now it's, it's still requiring a lot of us as people, but we'll see.
It even tells us, though, after it writes something, feel free to change this or make it how you want it.
Right. Yeah.
And if you fail to read that, because I make sure I read the whole thing, because if I don't like it, I tell it, could you please do this instead?
Again, yeah. Rewrite it in a different voice, or go down.
Yeah. I don't think, though, as far as Etsy and us makers, I don't know that, I mean, everybody, no matter what, always makes something different and unique. So with or without AI, I don't think it will really change anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's still going to regenerate something different every time, depending on the exact words that you give it. Yeah.
Right.
So we'll see where it goes to, but
I just like that when my brain can't think, it can do it for me. Jackie Williams asked, is it better to offer custom made or already made?
The trick is you would have to have a picture of something on Etsy in order to sell something. So it would have to be something that either you can remake or something that you could make very similar to something you've already made in order to be a custom, you know what I mean? To advertise it anyway. I mean, you can make custom orders on Etsy all the time. You can take, custom orders that way. But, so it all depends, like where you're at in your business. I know a lot of people when they first start out do a lot of custom work because that's how they get clients. and that's how they sort of learn what people want. And then, but as you get busier, it is harder to do custom work. You'll see most people that are do like have really good sales do very very few custom pieces. They know exactly what people want, and so they just go ahead and make them because custom things take a lot longer. And usually people don't want to pay what it's worth. You have to go back and forth on this color, that color, this style, so there's usually like just too much fuss that goes into a custom order, so people like tend not to want to deal with it.
Yeah, I have a custom order that I got in January to make ornaments for somebody's tree. We've been in contact. She's still trying to figure out what fabrics that she wants. And I'm like, so now next I got to send in and say, are you sure? Or, have you decided? Because the cutoff is soon.
Yeah. Yeah, it all depends on like what you're comfortable with and what you want to do. It doesn't matter for Etsy, but
and do you like to be stressed or
yeah, like do you want to deal with that, or do you want to just be like, well, this is what I have, buy it or don't buy it? I don't really care.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah.
Are you ready? It's time for the hot seat.
Uh-oh.
So excited. Sorry. Until I'm in the hot seat. All right, ready?
Okay.
If you could collaborate with any artist or designer, living or deceased, who would it be and why?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Franklin knows.
I cannot. There's like so many I can think of for so many different reasons. I'm trying to think of a good answer. Who I'd want to collaborate with was my grandmother. She's passed, but she was a master floral designer. She had like the biggest garden in the whole town, like this tiny little town that only had one stoplight. And she always did the flower arrangements for everything. Like she won so many awards at every flower show she ever went to. I would like to learn like fresh flower arranging from her if I could, and I don't know if that gene like got passed along as far as like designing and working with flowers or whatever. But yeah, and I didn't know like back when I knew her when she was alive, like I wasn't making wreaths and I wasn't interested in this kind of thing. So it would be really interesting to go back and be able to learn from her and do things with her. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be it. What's the most unusual or unexpected place you've found inspiration for the creations you've made?
Maybe like the grocery store, like just like I see like a sign or like something just totally random, like the most weirdest. I mean, a gas station or a grocery store. I think I found like signs in the grocery store, and I was like, "Oh, this would be so cute," and I like come up with a whole idea, and it's this rinky-dink little sign.
Yeah.
Most random stores sometimes have cute stuff, and then
and places you would never think you'd find them, right?
Yeah,
in the middle of nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
What's the one crafting tool or material you can't live without?
Well, I have to plug my ribbon rulers, but I've used them for forever, but to be able to easily wrap ribbon and cut, a bunch of pieces at once. I used to use just like a regular ruler, and then I had my husband cut me just like some pieces of wood. They were like not fancy, but yeah, that just makes it so much faster when you're cutting ribbon tails.
Oh, so I really like it too. Yeah. Yes, for
and
sure.
So many people make them now. I mean, there's a bunch of different ones. I make ones in my shop, but yeah, having a set from somewhere is definitely helpful.
Yeah. Okay. If BeautifulMesh were a person, how would you describe its personality in 3 words?
3 words?
I'll give you an extra one, but no more.
Oh my gosh. BeautifulMesh, the business?
Yes. Is there a different beautiful mesh that we don't know about?
Well, I don't know. Like, wreaths are like, I think it would be fun and girly and decorative.
You don't want to take the fourth one?
I can't.
I'm just kidding. Right, I was just writing that down. Can you recall the first item you ever sold from Beautiful Mesh? What was it? And how did it make you bleh, and how did it feel to make that sale?
I'm trying to remember my first sale. I want to say like my very first sales were friends or family.
That like the
I can't
ugly
remember.
wreath? That like the ugly wreath?
Yeah, I mean, I can't even remember the first like stranger purchase that I had. I have no idea what that was. So my very first, yeah, were usually like friends or family who were trying to be supportive and,
Right.
you know, gosh knows if they even still have the awful pieces that I made them, but I
I
can
still
remember
have mine.
I mean, some of them were like so bad. They were just I mean, I have pictures of them and
I do too. I just posted recently. This is
oh my
what it
God,
was before.
they were so bad. Like unwired ribbon, copyrighted
Yes.
stuff. I mean, it was just like
What do they call the gross grain ribbon?
yeah. Or I have
Yes.
this like satin ribbon that I got from Michael's that
And I thought the bow just looked the best.
yeah, I mean, I have ones where I like literally bought like a dollar store bow and like stuck it on. Oh my God, I couldn't make a bow. I can remember struggling to make a bow, like watching so many YouTube tutorials. Like I cannot figure out how the things, the loop,
Oh, I know. Forget it. I
yeah.
mean, I'm kind of learning the hand bow thing, and it's okay, but haven't gotten a cramp yet, so I guess I'm doing okay. What's a crafting technique or skill you've always wanted to master but haven't had the chance to yet?
I want to learn to crochet. It's kind of random, but I see all these really cute crochet animals on TikTok
Oh,
and
yes.
shows, and I want to crochet like little
They're
things.
so cute, aren't they?
They are. I want to do
Oh
it. And I tried to like crochet when like my babies were, my kids were babies, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna crochet a little hat, little booties. No, I got like 20 stitches in and gave that shit up because
No, don't give it up. Make a ribbon holder. The ribbon cutter. Help me out. I can't think right now. The ribbon board. Make a holder for it, but an animal, like a kangaroo with a pouch, and you just put it in. Hey, you know what? Everybody is my witness if you do make one.
I have to credit Angela for that.
Yeah. No, you just need to give me one of the first ones. If you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice about starting Beautiful Mesh, what would it be?
I would say maybe try and like hone in better on what you want to do and stop making a bajillion different things. Because I've kept, like trying so many different themes and I tried so many different types of crafts.
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, like I would be like, you stop. You need to just sort of pick one thing and do that really well. Because I know that the shops on Etsy that have done that do really well. The ones that have a good, like solid style and foundation and like they all just even if they just do the same type of thing in different colors and whatever, like those are the ones that do really, really well. So the ones that are doing a little this, little that, whatever, it's harder to get traction. And it's, Etsy doesn't know what you want. Your audience doesn't know what you're trying to do.
Etsy's confused.
Yeah. So, I mean, trying to pick something, but, with ADD, that's not going to work. And, we're creative. We like to make lots of different things. So I don't know that that's even going to be possible, but that would be. Yeah, if I could.
That would have been, yeah.
It would be nice.
What's your go-to soundtrack, or even though you said that you don't listen to music in the car, or music playlist when you're in your creative zone? If you could teleport to any place in the world right now for artistic inspiration, where would you go? Oh, wait.
Those are two separate questions.
Yeah, I forgot to put a space. Okay.
So I don't listen to me. I honestly don't listen to music.
Uh-huh.
I watch Netflix and or I watch 2020 and I watch TV shows or whatever while I'm working. I don't normally listen to music. Or I'll put on a podcast and listen to that.
I know of one that's going to be on soon.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, when I like go for on walks and stuff to exercise, I always listen to a podcast. I don't usually listen to music. So yeah, that's what I don't know.
So if you could teleport to any place in the world right now for artistic inspiration, where would you go? Or where would you take me with you?
I would honestly go somewhere where I could clear my mind. I wouldn't go somewhere where I was inspired by the things that are around me. I would go somewhere where I can be inspired by my own creativity. I would want to go somewhere where I could have like a clear head, not a whole lot going on, not a whole lot of hustle and bustle, not a whole lot, you know what I mean? Like somewhere like tropical on the beach where I can just be, with a whole lot of space to create, with all my things though, and to be able to create. Like I think that would be inspirational, just to have a clear space to do it in.
I could see you with a table set up on the beach. Okay, now everybody close your eyes and envision this. And Lauren is in beach attire, but she's got, her bathing suit cover up, and it's long, and it's a little breeze going by, and it just blows the back of her, your cover up as you're inspiring yourself and making something.
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice.
So relaxing, though.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, heck yeah. Okay, lastly, can you share a fun or quirky fact about yourself that most people wouldn't know?
My very first job was as a sailing instructor. I taught people how to sail.
Really?
Yeah, that was my very first job. It's totally random. But that's what I did I worked at a country club and I taught people, because growing up, we sailed all the time in the summer. And so my very first job was teaching other little kids how to sail.
Okay, then that answered the other question, because I was like, did you even know what you were doing and they trusted you? Well, I know we ran a few minutes over, but I just want to thank you so much for being a guest. And a little last minute, but I appreciate you. And I missed you. I was in Virginia at the end of August for Cody's retreat.
Oh,
and I
know. I didn't make it. I know.
I thought for sure you'd surprise me again, but nevertheless, it's always great to talk to you, to see you. Aw, thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
I've got a lot of kudos about this podcast. And so if anyone has someone they'd like to see, let me know. You can send me a message or you can email me at info@3. I don't know what's backwards or not. 3 LELLE creations.com. I'm making a list, and right now we're booked through October. Lauren, if you have any recommendations, I'd love that too. But nevertheless, it was awesome talking to you. Do you want to plug anything up and coming? Your university, anything?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to learn more about Etsy stuff or the courses or whatever, you just go to laurenkilgore.com. That's my website, and it has a link to my Etsy shop. It has a link to everything. And that's where all the good stuff is.
Miss you too, Meg. She says she misses you.
I know. Hi, Meg.
We really need just a getaway.
I know.
And I know we'd end up crafting, but still just something to get away. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. And if you're watching the replay, let me know. Type #replay. Lauren, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Tell Jackson I said bye.
Okay.
All right. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.